You know, we often talk about burnout, and we talk about it from the truck driver's perspective, their standpoint, if you will, that a lot of drivers are going to leave due to a variety of factors based on stress, a lot of work, a lot of concern about, future issues that may be going on in the company. Well, what about the boss? You ever think about from these terms that, the company that you're with, if you're seeing a high turnover in the boss's office, well, what is going on there? I want to welcome a new voice to the program. I've got Coach CoachMichaelLin joining us now to talk about this, how to recognize burnout in the boss. And, Michael, it's nice to have you on, sir. You're live across North America. Welcome.
Well, hello. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you? Thanks for joining us on the program. We're going to talk about burnouts and what it means and what companies need to do, maybe to try to stem the tide. But first, so give folks a little bit of background about what you do. And welcome to the show. What do you do?
Well, hi. Thanks for having me. Glad to be here. Yeah, I teach leadership seminars, workshops, one-on-one coaching for managers, leaders, first-time managers on how to become an effective leader, how to delegate, how to coach, how to manage a team.
When you look at this overall, this has got to be a very interesting yet very complex question, right? Because no two people are alike, that their skills are going to be vastly different. Say from somebody that's down the office way or maybe in another office around the company. So when you look at this overall, does a lot of the burnout factor that come into play, is it based on the individual, how they're able to handle things like stress? Is there a way to maybe even gauge that? How do you judge if somebody's good at handling stress?
Stress, yeah. Individuals are different, okay? People who are more people-oriented handle stress much better. People who are less people-oriented, they think everything should operate smoothly around them, they tend to get stressed a lot more. And corporations can do a lot to help managers to improve their leadership skills. And if you have the time, I'd be more than happy to get into those.
Oh, absolutely. Let's get into some of that in a situation where, say, the boss at a trucking company, as an example, is really just kind of hitting the limit, and stress is really becoming a major concern. It could be make or break for them if they decide to stay or go. Is it important for that boss to look at how they delegate the job? How important are the delegation skills?
It's extremely important. I would rank it's one of the #1 skills. It's what you delegate and who do you delegate them to. You want to delegate things you have done for 1,000,000 years. You can do it while you're asleep. And then you want to delegate them to people who are craving to learn that particular skill set. Somebody who thinks by learning that will improve their skill set and advance their own careers. Those are the ones that you should delegate them to. And then that will bring us to coaching skills.
Yeah, let's talk about the coaching skills, because I would imagine that one of the important things to factor in is going to be, okay, you can maybe delegate, but how do you coach that individual maybe to pick up the torch or maybe to take over the job? Is knowing something not the same as knowing how to teach someone that may need to know about a job?
Correct. Knowing something is not the same as knowing how to teach that thing you know. This is why, let's say, for example, many parents, they hire a outside driving instructor to teach their teenage children how to drive. So when it comes to coaching, you start with listening. You want to listen and find out what's in the blind spot of your coachee. What is it that they don't know and they thought they knew? What is the one belief that's holding them back, but they don't realize they have it. And then you need to explain it to them in a way that you are expanding their thinking. You are stretching their mind. So they feel like it's kind of like they went to the gym and hired a personal trainer, and then the personal trainer made them lift heavy stuff, and then they feel the muscle burning, but it's kind of like the pleasant burning sensation. So the coachee feels like their mind is being stretched and expanded, and then the knowledge is trickling down the corporation.
And this is, I would imagine, probably one of the most rewarding things, right? If there is a successful trickling down, like you're mentioning out there, that has got to be very gratifying for that individual that has received that coaching. Do you find that if it's done correctly, that person that is the recipient of the trickle-down coaching will really excel in what their job? And the other side of that, I would imagine this would help greatly with job retention if somebody feels like they're doing well.
You are absolutely correct on all fronts. To the person receiving the coaching, they feel a sense of loyalty toward you, the coach, and then the corporation they are with. And then to you, the coach, you have just transitioned yourself from a transaction-oriented manager, paper pusher, to an educator, to an inspirational educator. And then you feel like you can help people who are a little bit younger than you to advance their career, advance their lives. And that feeling is like $1 million. And it helps reduce your stress and then your burnout. You feel you're being useful to society, to the world out there.
Does this whole concept, Michael, as far as like delegation skills and coaching skills become more complex or complicated due to the fact that many of us are working remotely from home? Some have gone back to work into the office, but millions of others have not. That working from home is now the new norm for many out there. Does this present challenges or complications as far as delegation skills and coaching skills?
It does present a little bit more challenge because a lot of times you lose the face-to-face, or that you can sense their body language, their posture, and all that. But the greater challenge here is America. We are transitioning from a industrialized, everybody is a manual labor kind of an economy to a knowledge-based economy. Most employees here in America are knowledge workers. So knowledge, wisdom, industry wisdom, and then because of labor laws, you can't be just, I'm a tyrant of a boss and I'm proud of it. You can't do that anymore. You have got to be a people-oriented boss. So you really have to transition from a tyrant to an educator and an inspirational educator.
And we're talking about burnout, not from the driver's perspective this time, but from the boss's point of view, that the burnout factor is extremely high in this day and age. And I would think, Michael, that it's going to be pretty much across all industries, right? So many different stressors that are going on out there today that some are saying, you know what, I'm just done with it. Got to get out, done, don't want to do it anymore. Could this maybe be managed better? Would maybe somebody feel better if they understood time management with their job? Can out-of-control time management really be a big contributing factor to the stress load?
Yes. A lot of times when an individual feels like, oh, I need to improve my time management skills, that is noticing the right symptom. But the solution here is planning, is understanding what's urgent, what's immediate, but what's long-term important, what's high priority, what's low priority. What if you don't do now, it's going to have long-term negative consequences down the road. So a lot of this is based on industry insight. A lot of this is based on you have made a mistake in this area before. And the smart people, They learn from their mistakes, and they learn by watching other people, the coworker in the next cubicle making that mistake. And then you learn and you don't make that mistake ever again.
Well, absolutely. And in the training part of that, when you are maybe delegating, you can maybe correct some things that were not relayed correctly. Correct in that? I mean, with remedial training, does that also make for a better situation when you are delegating to somebody else?
Yes. And then here's something that's counterintuitive. Quite often, okay, if you're delegating something that's new to the individual and they're doing this for the first time, and if you just keep on jumping there and stopping them, they might feel like a little bit irritated. However, if they are about to make a little mistake that will cost the company 20 cents, okay, it will not cause any injury or anything like that. It's a little mistake on the computer that can be corrected within 2 seconds. Let the individual go ahead and make that little mistake. Making a little mistake and then the pain that's associated with it is actually the easiest and the fastest way to learn something.
And so when you look at the stress level overall, can a lot of this get down to the hiring skills of the individual? And, just come to the realization that if you make a mistake in hiring somebody, you got to terminate them. Correct in that? Does hiring skills come into play that contribute to burnout?
Right. Now, the challenge here is it's becoming legally more and more difficult to terminate someone. This is why you got to become more and more skillful hiring the right person. And then quite often the mistake made here is hiring managers use simple languages. For example, okay, this is a very simple example. Like, are you a good employee? And the answer you're going to get is, yes, I'm the best employee. Right. Are you a good employee is what you want to find out. But that's not the word of your question. You shouldn't be asking them like that. You should be using some other covert means to find out. You sort of want to find out, number one, this applicant, okay, has he or she know what he or she wants in life, number one. Number two, do they know it's going to take some effort on their part to get there? If they come in under the belief that, either I don't know what I want in life, or with a combination of society should provide, everything should be easy, you are going to have nothing but problems on your hands if you hire this individual.
Yeah, it's that is, I think, one of those deal breakers that if somebody doesn't come to the realization of the job expectations, then it's going to be counterproductive to the organization. Let me ask you one last question, Michael. I'm going to get ready to wrap it up here in about 2.5 minutes. Do a lot of managers, just kind of maybe put themselves in a box by looking at maybe what needs to be accomplished instead of looking at how to accomplish them, maybe with the emphasis on the human factors? How do you see that? Got about 2 minutes.
Yes. A lot of managers and a lot of quote-unquote management trainings, they focus on what needs to be accomplished. Okay, this thing needs to be produced by this time under this budget. They don't think about, they don't focus on how to accomplish them. They don't focus on the human factors involved. They don't talk about the human emotions that's involved. So a lot of this have no emotional intelligence component to it. If you treat humans like as if they are not humans, you're going to get backlashes. But if you treat humans like humans, you're going to build genuine, sincere connection, heart to heart. So when you are in need of something as the boss, your employee may volunteer to come and help you out.
Michael, I've got to get ready to wrap it up. Let me get the phone number and the website where folks can find you. Great information. Where can folks reach you? Up on the web or maybe call you directly? Where can I go?
They can come to CoachMichaelLin.com and connect with me. Lin is L-I-N, so it says www.CoachMichaelLin.com. ask me any questions you want.
Very good. Sir, thank you very much. I appreciate you joining me on the program. And again, a lot of the stories that we have on the air, it deals with, say, burnout in the trucking industry among the drivers that are out there. But, you know, one of the other side of the stories is the fact that we've got burnout on the managerial side as well. Michael, thank you very much. I'm going to wrap it up here for the hour.